movement, Donald Trump Jr.
Wow. How you doing, CPAC? Wanted to start with something. What was Donald Trump right about? Everything! We see that now, right, guys? Right? At what point in time in these morons' minds was, I don't know, the Wuhan lab leak theory not the most plausible argument in the year 2020? Of course it was. No. It didn't originate in the lab that studies the exact virus that has contaminated the world. No way. It happened 2 feet outside that lab. Don't laugh. You're now canceled. Congratulations. By laughing, you would have been thrown off every social media platform. You would have been thrown out of a job in science because, science no longer follows the rules of physics, right? They don't follow math. They follow the narrative dictated by CNN because that is able to manipulate the rules of physics. It's not what I learned in science, but in all fairness, they're pushing the boundaries of what we have all learned in science for the last few years, right? Just ask the male weightlifters in the Olympics competing against females. Minor details, but what do I know? So, the world is going to hell, right? Have you tried filling up your tank? Right? Don't forget, you did save 16 cents on your entire barbecue. The only problem... No, you did. It's very real. 16 cents for your whole family on the barbecue. The only problem is if you had to get in your car and drive to, I don't know, the end of your driveway. That savings was eaten up and then some. Minor details, right? I mean, because that's how it works. That's the narrative that you're sold, right? It's the Republicans who've obviously been pushing to defund the police, right? Jen Psaki told me so it must be true. Is that true, or did you see it on CNN? Right? So you all know what's going on, right? We're bombing stuff in the Middle East again. We're giving Russia pipelines. We can't have them ourselves. Our energy prices go through the roof. Last week, maybe it was the week before, at the G7, remember? The media came out and they were saying that the proof that Joe Biden hasn't lost it, the proof that he isn't riddled with dementia, was that Vladimir Putin said that he seemed very sharp. Can't make this stuff up, folks. I don't know. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that if it was Donald Trump that Vladimir Putin said that about, it'd be a slightly different response. What do you think, Mercedes? You understand this a little bit, comms, right? They probably a little different. Do you ever think that maybe Vlad is thrilled to negotiate against a dolt? I mean, no. He's getting everything that he wants, right? He got a pipeline from Russia, for Russia. He's making billions from the EU. Joe Biden says the EU is the backbone of NATO. Minor details, we spend 70% of their budget protecting them from the very Russians that they are enriching with this pipeline. America first went down the toilet with this administration, folks. Okay, but despite what we see going on a daily basis, despite all of that, there is a silver lining. Michael Avenatti's going to prison. I'm sorry. I don't want to be canceled. Democratic presidential hopeful. I heard this from Brian Potato Head Seltzer for years on CNN, right? So I don't want to be canceled. I'll be dinged. If they post this on social media, they'll ding me for misinformation because I didn't include Democratic presidential hopeful, which that was accurate, right? So nice Michael is going away for a couple years. He got off light relative to the sentencing, but that's okay. He's up for like 3 other things. I think one of them is defrauding like a paraplegic client of his. But he's a wonderful human being, guys. Remember, he was leading the Democrat charge. I love you too. No, but in all seriousness, thank you for that. It means the world to us. But, I think it's only because we actually fight. We'll actually push back, right? And that's what Donald Trump did for the Republican Party. He showed that you don't just have to turn the other cheek, roll over and die as the other side gets whatever they want and laughs their way to the bank, right? Now, we need you guys in that fight with us, okay? And to be clear, so that they don't say that I'm antagonizing, I mean the metaphysical fight of our values versus their Marxist ideals. Right? Because we can watch a year of rioting, looting, arson, murder, and that is a peaceful protest, but that only goes one way. We understand that, but all the more reason why we need all of you guys involved, okay? They can't cancel all of us. Now, if 1, 2, 3 people are the guys that have the guts to run out there and take the arrows, yeah, they can try to cancel them. But if we get together and we're all in this, that game is over, folks. Right? And that's why it's so awesome to be at something like this. So Matt and Mercedes, thank you so much for putting this together. It's just absolutely awesome. It's great to see it. Texas has always led the charge. The People's Republic of California is wonderful, but honestly, when I look around and I go around the country, I actually see that even in places like that, people are starting to get it. Right? They've been watching, they've seen what's gone on. For a while, they believed the narrative because, journalism was an honorable institution. Now, they're propagandists. Nothing more, nothing less. You look no further than the last 4 years to watch how they've diminished literally all of their credibility, jumping on every conspiracy. Remember, you guys get canceled for being conspiracy theorists. They created them, they pushed them, and yet there's no accountability. But today, in 2021, we all know that the difference between a conspiracy theory and the truth is about 6 months. Fact check, true. Fact check, true, folks, right? We've seen it play beyond just the narrative, the manipulation. What else will Donald Trump have been right about? I have a feeling everything. Because there's a steady stream of nonsense. We saw that, right? Russia, Russia, Russia was the gospel. There are people still talking about that as though it is real. There's no consequence to that, right? Then I guess it was Don Jr. committed treason. Yeah. Yes. That was real forever. They still talk about that one, right? Then Don Jr. perjured himself. Then it was Ukraine, Ukraine, Ukraine. Then it was Fauci's something more than a bureaucrat in a lab coat. Yeah. Fauci is better at pitching baseballs than he is at science, okay? Also true. I want to see them fact check that one. They have no chance. They will try, because it doesn't matter. I mean, the things that I've been fact check on, you can push back and say, oh, okay, we'll take it off. But that's the plan. They ding you enough times, they minimize your reach, they prevent you from being able to get your message out, and that's what we're up against, which is why we do have to band together. Okay? We can't allow it to happen. We need to push back. Ma'am, unfortunately, no. There's a lot of enthusiasm for Joe Biden. He's the most popular president ever. He's significantly more popular than Barack Obama was in '08, especially in the inner cities, because he has a track record of not being racist. His son definitely didn't drop, let's say, words that I don't even want to use abbreviations for, with letters in them. And if you believe that, I've got some waterfront property to sell you in Dallas. Nice oceanfront Dallas property. It's going to be wonderful because I'm a real estate guy. Yeah. And if you really believe that, I have some Donald Trump Jr. artwork that I will be... Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate that lead-in. I wasn't going there, but, you know, why not? I'll do some Don Jr. artwork. I'll put up a nice little piece of paper. Maybe I'll break out my AR. I'll shoot a smiley face into it. And I'll sell it to $500,000 to people in China who are probably influencing our government, you know, because that's probably what's happening, right? How do we get what we want in the Democrat Party? Just buy Hunter's art, right? Now they actually have to watch because, again, the Don Jr. laptop from hell would have been really bad. The Hunter Biden, like, degenerate stuff, the corruption stuff, you know, these would have been stories. For example, what do you think the media reaction would be to Don Jr. smoking Parmesan cheese? I promise you, it wouldn't be what we saw from the media, right? It'd be a little different. And then I say that, and they say, oh, you're making fun of people with addiction. I go, let's just talk about this for a second. I totally understand addiction. It's terrible. We all know people that have suffered from it. It doesn't absolve you from being a total piece of garbage in every other aspect of your life. It doesn't absolve you from selling access to the highest power levels of government. It doesn't absolve you from selling out your country. It doesn't absolve you from, I don't know, child support from the stripper you knocked up a couple years ago, right? Am I right? Yeah. Because I have a feeling if it was me, I would not be absolved. You like that? Okay, good. Hey, we have to have some fun. That's the problem. You know, the conservatives, we've been pretty damn boring for years, right? We can actually have fun and still make our points because all the points are valid. You guys get it. You see it. I opened up for my father last weekend for the 4th of July in Sarasota. And why I know this is real is I saw 45,000 people RSVP for an event. They sat out on a Saturday of their 4th of July holiday weekend, the greatest holiday in America, for like 8 hours in 100-degree heat. You know, heat index. I got to say that because they'll say, no, it was 98. Right? I will be canceled. So I have to make sure I caveat and make sure we address this. So it was 98 with like 99.9% humidity. So it was like really damn hot, okay? They sat out there for 8 hours. And then it rained for 3 hours. And I don't mean like drizzle like we're seeing today. I mean like torrential downpour. And I asked our guys, I go, man, I'm gonna get on and like, I'm gonna be speaking to an empty crowd. They go, no, sir, 137 people went inside to dry off because there was a little concession area, but they're all back in now. I go, we lost 0? 8 hours on a holiday weekend plus 3 hours of rain? Guys, this is a movement. I got on that stage and I was like, wow, that's a pretty good crowd. Let's see what happens. I saw an American flag hanging from a crane about 400 yards behind it. I go, why is it so far out there? But you know, it's Florida. It's like flat like South Texas, right? It's like, there's like 6 inches of elevation change over a 20-mile area, right? So I'm getting up on the stage. I was like, okay, beautiful crowd, incredible bandstands. I'm getting up on the stage. I'm just looking, and it's just going. Because these guys get it. They understand what's happening. They're sick of watching their country get taken away. They're sick of a narrative that's anti-American. They're sick of an administration that seems to be working for everyone else other than the taxpayers in America, right? But they've seen it again, right? We've talked about it. Defund the police. That was Republicans, right? Oh, that's wonderful. Oh, great. Our media. Oh, that's wonderful. Well, it was Donald Trump's border crisis. Clearly, about a week after he left office, and you rolled out the welcome wagon. We're going to give you free health care. We're going to give you free education. You can take American jobs. You can come with COVID. It doesn't matter. We're going to shut you down from going to church, from going to school, from opening your business. But if you're illegal and you come here with COVID, we'll release you into the public. Go have fun. Have at it. But it was Donald Trump, and everyone, oh, yes, lovely. That's wonderful. This is what we're up against. They're lying to you about everything, right? When I wrote Liberal Privilege last summer, that was my thesis. All the things. Joe Biden's not going to be a moderate. Check. Joe Biden's not against energy. Really? Check. What else are they lying to you about, guys? Yeah. Joe Biden's not going to be against the Second Amendment, right? You don't need your fully semi-automatic 40-shot clip mag, right? Because Joe Biden knows what the hell he's talking about. I love my fully semi-automatics. There's no such thing, folks, but they don't know that. I love my AR-14. You can't make this crap up. Guess what, guys? They're lying to you again about being moderate on the Second Amendment, right? Look at Chipman. They want to appoint the leader of the ATF, or the AFT, as Joe Biden would call it, because he can't remember, right? They want to appoint a guy that worked actively for the anti-gun lobby to lead the ATF, to infringe on your Second Amendment rights. So I want all of you guys to call your senators, okay, and make sure that this guy doesn't get confirmed, okay? I want you to speak to your senators in perhaps purple states, where you have Democratic senators that claim to be for the Second Amendment, like Manchin, like Tester, and ask them, are they going to nominate someone that says they're going to take your guns away, your AR-15? Even standard capacity mags would be illegal. Ask those guys, because they talk about being for the Second Amendment. Their constituency is for the Second Amendment. But you can't be on both sides of this one, guys. You're going to have to make up your mind. They told the American public that Joe Biden was going to be a moderate for 9 months. Some people believed it because they hadn't seen what we've all seen. You know, they were busy trying to feed their families, put food on the table, raise their kids with great values, consume a couple minutes of news a day, maybe in the background. They thought maybe, just maybe, he'll be the moderate. The media was happy to sell that narrative because they knew they could manipulate it. They'd get what they wanted out of it. We all now know that that's a lie. So we have to hold them accountable. So guys, stay in the fight, stay in the game, make sure you're involved. Make sure you have those conversations with your friends. Don't let this one slide. I mean, the Democrats are doing it. They're making it easy for us, folks, right? Incompetent decision after incompetent decision. Fake soundbite after fake soundbite. Fake photo op after fake photo op, right? I mean, has Joe Biden done anything that didn't involve an ice cream parlor? No, seriously, I'm sitting there. It's like my toddler. Like, Joe, if you get the line right, you get a scoop of ice cream. Maybe even 2 scoops. Because we remember how big a deal 2 scoops was, right? But you know, Joe can't get through the line anyway. They give him the ice cream because, like, you know. So guys, we need you in this with us. We need you there. And again, Texas sees it more clear than anyone, right? The humanitarian crisis going on at the border is a disgrace, right? I know they're trying to blame it on Donald Trump, and Kamala Harris does a nice photo op 900 miles away in El Paso to make sure she can be clear of any of the cages that who built? Again, narrative. You see a pattern here, folks. So stay with it. I just want to thank you guys for all of the support. Honestly, it means the world to us. We're truly appreciative, and we will continue to be in this fight as long as you guys do. All right? Contrary to popular belief, as a real estate developer from New York, it's not popular to be pro-2A, to be pro-conservative, but it doesn't matter because our country is worth fighting for. Our children is worth fighting for. Our freedoms are worth fighting for. So get out there and fight for them. Thank you, guys.